Welcome, everybody. Welcome to our new members as well who are joining for our first session. Today, it's our second session in 2022. So as Renata said, obviously the topic is certification and support to net zero in hospitality. When we discussed with the co-chairs and then various members who gave their input, it was really interesting to understand that people wanted to understand the landscape better, understand what key frameworks, certifications, tools that could support different stakeholders.
So the impacts of climate change on our business are incredibly tangible and incredibly real, and will disproportionately impact our sector within the subsector of this business, and therefore our work on climate is of utmost urgency. I also want to stress as well that this is something that has happened relatively recently, right? We were just looking at our materiality assessments from 2018, where climate was not a material topic as identified by our stakeholders and businesses, and now only a few years later, plus the pandemic, we are in the queue to have our SBTI validated. While this information is not yet publicly available, I do expect our ambition to be one of the most ambitious decarbonization strategies for hospitality sector, and would love to be out-ambitioned by other groups that are looking to work on that scale of decarbonization.
We at Pandox have chosen to focus on science-based targets, since it, according to us, is the closest to the truth and helps us avoid soft or toothless targets.
We should overall reach the net zero carbon, but it's a very different situation from, I guess, anybody else having hotel in Europe or in Asia, because you start from an existing situation. For us, we start from zero, so the challenge is definitely very different, but it's still a cost matter at the end of the day.
We've developed over 15 years is an ISO-based. We've taken relevant ISO standards on what good certification means, international norms and certification. We follow the ISEAL Alliance Assurance Code, a London-based organization that provides guidance for sustainability in all sectors. We're the only members of ISEAL in hospitality or tourism, along with FSC for wood and paper, MSC for fish and seafood, RSPO for palm oil, etc. So we're in this very unique club through years of development of a very strong technical foundation. So we're the standard owner of the criteria, and we provide accreditation.
Now you can already understand, going back to the participants reporting to GRESB, in exchange of participating, they get some, what we call the benchmark report. This is what you see on the left-hand side. They get a report with lots of information, benchmarking inside, etc., etc. If you go on the top right of this slide, you can see that the developer who wants to get their ESG performance benchmark can report to GRESB, which will be, obviously looked at by investors if they're invested in that investable vehicle. But they'll also start communicating with potential portfolio managers, because when an asset is sold in the long term to an asset manager or portfolio manager, well, they'll be interested in the ESG performance of what the developer did on a construction project. So there isn't just a communication kind of a channel between investors and the industry. Obviously there is, this is the biggest one, but also across the industry, depending on what type of actor you are.
There's also a component which is data-based. So in order for us to be able to define what the optimum use, for example, is of energy consumption per square meter in an upper upscale hotel or a budget hotel, or a hotel which is in a resort environment or in an urban city center, we need to have data. It's not only enough to have the intellectual input. So at the moment, we are actively getting a lot of data into the BRIAM platform, which is helping us to define optimum ranges, not just for energy per square meter, carbon per square meter, or carbon intensity, energy intensity, but also other aspects as well. We wish to thank our speakers and contributors today. So thank you, Randy, Charles, Ufi, Carolyn, Emmanuel, and Megan. Very much appreciate. Hopefully everybody in the audience saw a cross-sector and cross-region and different perspectives. So hopefully that proved useful.